World Championship here at one of the most spectacular motorsport complexes on the planet. This is the Kingdom of Bahrain. This is the Bahrain International Karting Circuit. And we will form up the junior field and get ready to go to green under lights and decide the 2016 World Champion. There is the Grand Prix circuit in the background as we take a look at the grid for you. Vidalis and Martins, the front row of the grid. Petakov, Keneally, then it's Ericsson, Rosso, Pusher, Bolantsev, Kian Jewis, who you just saw a few moments ago, and from Norway, Dennis Hauger. The sixth row of the grid is Teddy Wilson, Adam Ateki, Ivan Shvetsov, and Ilya Morozov, all Russian. Seventh row, O'Neill Muth and Kilian Meyer, the Spaniard. Then it's Alejandro Lajos Lopez, Oscar Piastri from Melbourne. Starts out at grid 18, ahead of Yusuf Ovega. And Callum Bradshaw, the Academy Trophy winner. Deville Jardelli, Jack Doohan's there, alongside his Ricky Flynn Motorsport teammate Nick Cruton. Manang from Indonesia, Alvarez from Mexico. Semi Taufik, the Moroccan, alongside the Swede Blomqvist. Wirtz, Mullane, Alatalo, Petacek has scraped into the final, as has the Canadian Antonio Serravalle and the Frenchman Charles Milesi on grid number 34. The tension is building, the grandstands are full. How good is this? We are ready to go. The 2016 CIK FIA Junior World Karting Championships. Andrea Rosso in the Birilla, number 154, just gets into position. The tension is palpable here in the Arabian Gulf. Just a few moments away. It is Tony Kart versus Cosmic on the front row of the grid. The Spaniard versus the Frenchman. Here we go. The 2016 Junior World Championship goes green, and Vidalis leads down into turn number one. A relatively clean start, one or two karts going out wide. Keneally's gone wide. He's gone very wide, in fact, along with the Russian Shvetsov. Gianluca Petakov, the boy from Brazil, up into P number 2. He's got ahead of Victor Martins. Vidalis is the race leader in the early part of this race. The Spaniard in the Tony Kart, 108. Look how quickly Petakov has already closed in on the back of the green machine. Martins in third, Keneally in fourth, despite going wide at the opening corner. Tail push out. The French driver in the Cosmic Karts made a pretty good start. They come down the hill for the first time. Vidalis, De Castro, Petakov, very nervous under brakes. Vega tyres taking a lap or so to get up to temperature. Across the line for the first time. Here they come. The order is Vidalis, Petakov, Martins, Keneally, Pusher, Jewis, Shvetsov, Adam Ateki, Jack Doohan. What a start by the Aussie. He's come from the back of the field to be up into grid position number 10. A brilliant start from the son of the 5-time world motorcycle champion, Mick Doohan. One kart already parked on the side of the track, and a problem for Callum Bradshaw. He actually pulls into pit lane. Unfortunately, the Academy Trophy winner is out at the end of the first lap. Vidalis from Petakov. Vidalis has gone wide. He's lost the lead. Martins tries the outside. Oh, what a sensation early on. The boy from Brazil is the race leader. Vidalis back to second and under serious pressure from the Frenchman, Victor Martins. He looks behind him. There's Vin Keneally, Teo Pusher, the front five. Andrea Rosso, the Italian, trying to keep in touch. He's back there in sixth spot. Kian Jewis also charging up through. Petakov goes wide. Vidalis up the inside, nicely done. The Spaniard, the Frenchman goes through. The Brazilian goes from P1 to P3 in one single corner. Watch Vin Keneally, the reigning European champion, is in fourth. Victor Martins up the inside. What a race we've got, ladies and gentlemen. 16 laps, more of this. This is the Junior World Championship final here in Bahrain. Martins is now the leader for the VDK Racing Team. Ahead of Vidalis, Petakov, Keneally. Tail push out in the Cosmic Kart. Keneally up the inside, takes the Brazilian, who was leading one lap ago. The CRG driver is now back to fifth. Make that sixth, because Andrea Rosso, the Italian, Kian Jewis, The Englishman has gone through into 5th place. Keneally's up into 3rd from Pusher. Victor Martins and David Vidalis. They both won a pre-final each. Virtually everyone at the circuit has picked either one of these two drivers to take the World Championship. Let's check the order for you. It is Martins from Vidalis, Keneally, Pusher, Jewis, De Castro, Shvetsov, Lahoth Lopez, Adamateki and Oscar Piastri. The awesome Aussie has come from grid number 20 to be up into position number 10. The front 4 starting to pull away a little bit. Let's see if Kian Jewis can go through and just catch on to the tail of the leaders here. He looks behind him. There is still Petikov, who was the early race leader, is back into 6th. We come up to quarter race distance here in the Kingdom of Bahrain in the Arabian Gulf. Martins left the door open. Vidalis had to think about it, decided better of it. He's going to have to do something really quick because Finn Keneally's going to make a move before you know it. Again, he decides to sit in behind. Pusher on the back of the Englishman in 4th spot. Kian Jewis, Petikov looks behind him. The 112 cart is the Russian Ivan Shvetsov. Lahoth Lopez, Ateki, Piastri still in 10th. Ahead of Bulantsev, Meyer, Kruta, Malaysi, Doohan rounds out the 15. Ahead of Dennis, the menace. Hauger, the Norwegian, has not had a good start to this race. The second CRG driver is back in position number 16. Martins still. Vidalis sitting in the slipstream. Keneally watching on. The race starts to settle down. Shvetsov desperately trying to keep in touch with the leaders. What a freight train we've got in Bahrain. The Frenchman leads the Spaniard, the Englishman. 2 French drivers in the top 4 as Vidalis finally goes down the inside. Keneally follows him through. Martins is pushed out wide. He's back to 4th, now 5th. He's under pressure from the boy from Brazil, Gianluca Petikov. Over the back of the driver who was leading just 3 corners ago. Down the hill they come in lap number 6. The CIK Junior World Championship has come alive here in Bahrain. Vidalis from Leon in Spain leads the reigning European champion Finn Keneally for the team that has won the Junior World Championship last year with Logan Sargent and the year before also in 2014. Anna Ahmed, of course, Lando Norris, 3 World Championships along with Logan Sargent. For the team that has now got their driver out front, Vidalis is pushed out wide. Finn Keneally is the new race leader. What a disaster for the Spaniard. He does recover, but he's now back in 6th. Martins goes through into 3rd. Incredible stuff here in Bahrain. Finn Keneally did not qualify so well, but look at him now. He leads the 91 drivers here at the Junior World Cup Racing Championships, and this is only 1/3 race distance. They come round onto the straight one more time. Keneally goes defensive. It is actually a British 1 and 2 as Kian Jewis in the 4th. It's a racing cut. Well, it was a British 1 and 2. He thought about taking his countryman. Had it all locked up going into turn number 1, but he's now back to 5th. Martins up the inside. The Frenchman takes the Englishman. It was British 1 and 2. Now it's a French 1 and 2. From Keneally and Jewis 1st and 2nd. Now we've got Martins and Pusher. How good is this? It is also Cosmic 1 and 2. Gianluca Petikov, who seemed out of it just a few laps ago, is now up into 3rd on the tail of the 2 French drivers. Finn Keneally, he was leading just a few corners back. Jewis locks it up. Pusher goes through. The English drivers side by side down the hill. Oh, spectacular from Keneally. He locks it up. He makes contact with his countryman. There's David Vidalis. He was pushed so far off the track a few moments ago. We thought his World Championship was over. Indeed, it might be, but he's now starting to focus in on catching the leaders. He's got a big problem right behind him, though, and that is in the form of the Russian Ivan Shvetsov, the SMP World Racing Team driver, who has been threatening to take a big victory over the last 12 months. Indeed, Russia has never had a world karting champion. Shvetsov, he's looking good in P5. A little bit of body language from the Spaniard and Shvetsov. I think they formed an understanding in a split second, then they were just pointing, hey, if we fight amongst themselves, the leaders are going to get away. Let's see if that's going to be great sportsmanship or whether it will cost them both. I think Vidalis has actually pulled out, nevertheless, on the Russian. Indeed, he has. He comes across the line and he's put 3/10 on Shvetsov just in the last few corners. This is half race distance, the 2016 CIK FIA World Championships. The tail of that battle, though, there is one driver who is coming in, coming on hard. Oscar Piastri, the Ricky Flynn Motorsport team driver, is now up into position number 6, and he's dragging his countryman along. Jack Doohan made a great start to be up into 10th. Now the French driver Adam Ateki in the 128 CRG. Lahoth Lopez, Bolantsev, Kilian Meyer. Jewis is back into 11th after that moment earlier on. Push out. De Castro. This is ominous. Look at the lead from Victor Martins, 1.3 seconds. It is still France 1 and 2. Vidalis over the back of the boy from Brazil. Up the inside goes the Spaniard. The Tony Kart takes the CRG. Vidalis is now back on the podium. Pusher in the 119 Cosmic Kart. It is indeed a Cosmic Kart that is leading this race. It is powered by a Perilla engine. The VDK Racing team driver from France. 2 wins in the European Championship throughout 2016. He picked up the WSK Final Cup at Adria Karting Raceway a little over a month ago in northern Italy. He leads the World Championship. The gap was 1.3. It's now out to 1.4. Victor Martins is pulling away. It is France 1 and 2. Can the Spaniard do anything about it? Vidalis in 3rd has pulled away from De Castro Petakov, the Brazilian. Shvetsov, Piastri still in 6th, doing a superb job ahead of the 3rd French driver in the top 7. Another CRG, and that is Adam Ateki. Unfortunately for the Swedish driver Hampus Eriksson, he has retired from this race and is out, and will have to wait 1 more year and try and take the title in 12 months' time at PFI Circuit in England. Well, Vidalis has certainly caught up to the back of Poucher. He's right on the tail of the Cosmic Kart. He will get the benefit of the slipstream as they touch 127 k's an hour right there on the start-finish straight. Poucher slides it into turn number 1. The roller coasters through turn 2, 3 and 4 here in Bahrain. Poucher a little bit sideways. Watch Vidalis. Watch him now. Poucher was awake to it though. Vidalis will line him up surely in 2 corners time, going down into the hairpin. Will Poucher goes defensive? No. Nothing the Frenchman can do about it. The Spaniard, Vidalis, now back up to 2nd. Now the race is on between Victor Martins and Dynamite David from Spain. The gap, though, it's out to 1.7 seconds. Fastest lap of the race. It's not Martins, it's not Vidalis, it's actually Charles Milesi, the French driver who's come storming through from the back of the field. Charles has made up 22 positions. He's up into 12 from grid number 34, and he's just done a 52.05, the fastest lap of the race. An average speed of almost 98 kilometers an hour around this 1.4 kilometer circuit here in the Kingdom of Bahrain. Push out, very smooth. He cannot make a mistake, otherwise Vidalis will skip away. If he does make a move, well, that'll almost guarantee the World Championship in just 5 laps time to Victor Martins. Up the inside goes Petakov, the Brazilian's on the podium. Oh, push out with a nose cone. Touches the back of the CRG, that has cost him badly. The Russian Shvetsov knows it. There's Piastri on the tail of this field. He's desperate to become the first Australian driver to win the World Karting Championship since James Courtney in Portugal at Braga way back in 1995, and then 2 years later at Salbris in France Formula A in 1997. Oscar is in position number 6. He is catching this group, but they are fast running out of time. The gap is out to 1.6 seconds. There's Piastri on the back of the Russian, Shvetsov. Shvetsov was superb early on. Piastri, the RFM team, the Alonso kart powered by the Vortex, has he left his run too late? Finn Keneally, who was in the lead earlier in this race, the other RFM kart, he's now struggling. He's back in position number 14, just coming on the straight now. Just ahead of him is his German teammate, Nicholas Cruton. Isaac Blomqvist goes through. The Mexican, Sebastian Alvarez, ahead of Andrea Rosso, who made a great start, but is now stuck down in position number 17. The gap, 1.7 seconds as we take a look at a replay of the Brazilian. Petkov up the inside of Pouchet to the right of your screen. Martins, the race leader, by 1.775 seconds. These OK Junior 125cc engines are super reliable. It is very unlikely that he will have a problem. We've had very few DNFs throughout the whole week due to mechanical failure. Vidalis, is he closing the gap? For our Spanish fans, I'm sorry to say, the answer is no. The gap is now out to 1.9 seconds. As Martins puts in the big ones, he's pulling away. He's a lap and a half away from glory. Petkov on the podium, albeit just as Piastri slides up the inside of the Russian. The Aussie goes side by side with Shvetsov for a few moments. Petkov, the Brazilian, is still on the podium from Pouchet. France running 1 and 4 and 7 now with Adam Ateki. Petkov up the inside, struggling to defend. However, the last lap board is coming out. The gap was 1.9 seconds. Surely Victor Martins will taste glory in 1 lap's time, because it is now 2.1 seconds. The fight is on for the final step of the podium. Pouchet, Petkov, Piastri has driven superbly. He's up into 4th. However, we are a few corners away from witnessing history. Victor knows it. He has to look behind him, 2.1 seconds back. France has not had a world karting champion since Arno Kozlinski won at Macau back in 2009. He comes down the hill for the final time. He knows it. He will win. The checkered flag comes out. Ladies and gentlemen, Victor Martins is the 2016 Junior World Cup Racing Champion. Vidalis across the line in 2nd spot. It's a drag race for 3rd. Théo Pouchet makes it France 1 and 3. Shvetsov was 4th. Petkov was 5th ahead of Piastri and Duas. Wow, what a race. And you cannot say he did not deserve that. Absolutely sensational. You have just witnessed history here in the Arabian Gulf, the Kingdom of Bahrain. There's the 3rd place driver, Petkov. Vidalis, he was thrilled with 2nd, the fastest qualifier. Vice world champion. So we take a look at replay. Well, they started 1 and 2 on the grid. At the end of the race, they finished 2 and 1. What a race it was early on. Keneally going out wide. Remember the British driver. He did lead early on. They all had a turn at leading, in fact. Keneally fading to finish 11th. At this point, he went through on that driver there. He went off. Look at that. Who would have thought when he went over the ripple strip, Victor Martins would win the World Championship in 15 laps' time? The same can be said for Vidalis. It looked as though his race was over at that point after he was pushed out almost into the desert sands here in Bahrain. Keneally, the reigning Euro champ, led very briefly. And Victor Martins, the Frenchman, said, "That's enough, boys. This race is mine." Keneally went off the road in a touch with his countryman, Ian Duas. Pouchet was superb. We'll see him on the podium. in a few moments' time. Pedikov, we saw him praying to the heavens above before the race on the grid. The Brazilians, we know they're emotional. There will be fantastic scenes in a few moments' time. Poucher touching the back of him. Martins winning it from Vidalis. Poucher, the French driver. Pedikov finishing in fourth. In fact, the Brazilian, of course. So let's cap the results for you. Victor Martins, the VDK Racing Team driver. They came second in the World Cup a few years ago with Stoffel van Dorn. Now they are the World Championship team. Victor Martins is the new junior world champion. Vidalis was second. Poucher was third. Shvetsov, De Castro, Piastri was sixth. Head of Juis Bolantsev, Milesi from grid number 34. What a drive from the Frenchman. And Adam Ateki makes it 4 French drivers in the top 10. Incredible scenes here in Bahrain. Stay with us live on CIKFIA.tv. We will bring you the official podium presentations in just a few moments.